Everyone, my name is Amanpreet Singh. You are now watching Chess Knowledge. Today we will see the game between Gibbard and Lizard. The game is very short. It's just ended in 4 moves, and this is the shortest game in the history of chess between them at the highest level of grandmaster levels. So let's enjoy this game. And next was you will hear from the computer.
Queen's Pawn, 4 moves. One of the shortest master-level games ever played. In a seemingly tame position, Lizard shocks Gibbard with a move that wins his queen. d4, controlling a portion of the center and putting pressure on the queen side. Knight f6, developing a piece and preventing 2e4. Knight d2, planning 3e4. e5, good move. This frees black's game. d takes c5. Knight g4, if 4 knight gf3 then 4 knight c6 will win back the pawn. Not 4 f4 knight e3 trapping the queen. h3, blunder, an innocent looking move. White expects 4 knight takes c5 5 knight gf3. Knight e3, brilliant move. White resigns, if 5 f takes c3 then 5. Queen h4 check. 6 g3 queen takes g3 checkmate.
I hope you understand this game and enjoy this very short masterpiece. Now looks the next game. This is between the Grand Final and Alkine. It happened in 1923. And next one you will hear from the computer.
Queen's Gambit declined 34 moves. Alkine plays a solid defense with black and gradually improves his position until he obtains a winning advantage. He exploits it brilliantly. This is the kind of game that makes chess look easy. Alkine was world champion from 1937-1946. d4. Knight f6, to prevent 2e4. c4, putting pressure on the center. It is important not to block the c-pawn and queenside openings. e6, preparing to develop the bishop and keeping open the possibility of d5. Knight f3. d5, also playable as 3b6 leading to the queen's Indian defense. The current position is a queen's gambit declined by transposition of moves. It could have occurred by 1 d4 d5 2 c4 e6 3 knight f3 knight f6. Knight c3, developing and putting pressure on the center. Bishop e7. Bishop g5. Knight bd7. It is important not to block the c-pawn by 5 knight c6. e3, a normal developing move. Short castle. Rook c1. White anticipates that the c-file will be open. c6, solidifying the defense of the center. Queen c2. a6. Black will soon play d takes c5 followed by b5 and c5 and eventually bishop b7. a3, so that after the bishop recaptures on c4 it can retreat to a2. h6. Bishop h4. Rook e8. Black is waiting until white develops his bishop before playing d takes c4. Bishop d3. d takes c4. Bishop takes c4. b5. Bishop a2. From here the bishop can move to b1 supporting the queen in the attack on the king. c5. Rook d1, putting pressure on the soon-to-be-opened d-file. However, it is usually not a good idea to move a piece twice in the opening and neglect the development of other pieces. c takes d4. Knight takes d4. Queen b6. Bishop b1. Bishop b7. Good move. Short castle. Rook ac8, pinning the knight. Notice how black has moved each of his pieces only once but always to the right square. Queen d2, unpinning the knight. Knight e5, the knight is headed for c4. Bishop takes f6. Now that black cannot recapture with the knight, white plays for threats on h7. Bishop takes f6. Queen c2. threatening 22 queen h7, check, but moving the queen onto the same file as the black rook. g6. Queen e2. Knight c4, threatening 23 knight takes a6 24 b takes a6 rook takes c3. Black's pieces are beautifully placed. The bishop on b7 is very powerful, as is the rook on c8. The knight on c4 puts tremendous pressure on white's position. Bishop e4, so that if 22 knight takes a3 then 23 queen f3 bishop takes c4 24 knight takes c4 bishop takes d4 25 rook takes d4 and white is threatening both 24 b takes a3 as well as 24 knight f6 check, forking the king and rook. Bishop g7, the bishop is safer here, the threat of knight takes a3 is renewed. Bishop takes b7. Queen takes b7. Rook c1, guarding the knight to prevent 24 knight takes a3. e5, good move, the pawn will advance to e4 and support the knight when it moves to d3 via e5. Knight b3. e4, the pawn on e4 severely cramps white's game. Black is now threatening 26 knight takes a3 27 b takes a3 rook takes c3 28 rook takes c3 bishop takes c3. Knight d4. Rook e d8, moving the rook to an open file and threatening 27 bishop takes d4. Rook f d1. Knight e5, on the way to the great outpost d3. Knight a2, mistake. White hopes to reduce the pressure by exchanging rooks. Unfortunately, this move takes the knight too far from the action. Moreover, the fact that the knight is unprotected is the basis of black's winning 32nd move. Knight d3. Rook takes c8. Queen takes c8. f3. White attempts to undermine the knight. Rook takes d4. Good move. If 31e takes d4 bishop takes d4 check. 32 king f1, not 32. King h1 knight f2 check. 33 king g1 knight takes d1 check. 32 knight f4 33 queen takes c4 queen c4 check. 34 king e1 knight takes g2 check. 35 king d2 bishop e3 check. 36 queen takes c3 knight takes c3 and black wins. F takes c4. Black has two pieces attacked. Knight f4, good move. E takes f4, white's position looks secure. Queen c4, good move, attacking the queen and the knight. The only way for white to avoid losing a piece is to take the queen. Queen takes c4. Rook takes d1, check. If 34 king f2 then 34 b takes c4 and black is ahead by a rook. Queen f1. White wins back the rook after 34 rook takes f1 chain. Bishop d4 check. And white resigns. After 35 king h1 rook takes f1, checkmate.
I hope you understand the both of the games and enjoy the game. And thanks for watching.